shocking new numbers on the coronavirus front to talk about. South Carolina seeing its third highest total of new COVID cases today in all of the entire pandemic. Nearly 6,700 people tested positive for the virus. January 6th and January 8th were the only other days during the pandemic that saw higher numbers. Of course, that was during the winter holiday surge. The state also reported 39 new deaths today.
All this coming as the second week of school wraps up in the Palmetto State. And so far, we've seen thousands of students just in our area alone test positive or be forced to quarantine. And that includes nearly 100 new positive cases in the last 3 days in Fort Mill. But we want to remind you, each one of those numbers represents a family now impacted by COVID-19.
WCNC Charlotte's Tanya Mendis joins us live from Fort Mill. Tanya, you've been talking to some of those families today, and they have some major concerns.
Well, absolutely, Fred. It's really been a rough start to the year here in Fort Mill. We've seen classes that have had to quarantine, schools that have had to shut down. The latest numbers showing that these cases are climbing. So today I went behind the numbers to talk to some of these families that are directly impacted, including one family whose child tested positive.
So I never felt the same fear that I felt on day one of dropping off my daughter to school. Like I already knew what will happen.
After a year of virtual learning, Eliza Zanny James' daughter was so excited to go back to school in person this year. A sixth grader at Forest Creek Middle School in Fort Mill, she wore 2 masks plus a face shield, even ate lunch outside. She caught COVID before the end of the first week.
And as soon as I put her in their care, she got sick. And not because she didn't do what she needed to do, but because they set her next to a kid that was unmasked and COVID positive.
COVID spread so quickly through Forest Creek Middle, Fort Mill School District shut down the entire school.
I wonder how they didn't see this coming.
With masks optional across South Carolina, COVID dashboards are lighting up with thousands of cases of kids who are testing positive or who are in quarantine, including Jen Callahan's 2 kids.
Both of my kids have been exposed. They're not considered close contacts, but have been exposed, so I've kept them home for the past few days waiting for COVID testing.
In response to the climbing COVID cases, Fort Mill introduced new school safety measures this week. Masks are still optional, but lunch is now in the classroom. Shared recess is stopping. Visitors are no longer allowed in, and large-scale events like open houses are canceled. Callahan grateful for the additional precautions, but believes more adjustments should have happened sooner.
This is a public health issue, and my kids aren't in school right now because of a breakdown in public health strategy.
Zanny James' daughter is doing better.
I mean, the last time she had symptoms was 3 days ago.
But still in quarantine.
Today is day 6.
She doesn't know how she'll be able to send her children back.
My trust for the school, the Fort Mill School District, is irretrievably broken.
Most of the positive cases and the quarantines right now are coming at the elementary school level, like this elementary school here behind me. And again, just to reiterate, they have added 100 new positive cases, or nearly 100 new positive cases just since Tuesday, and about 250 additional students who are now in quarantine. Reporting in York County, I'm Tanya Mendis, WCNC Charlotte.